Hey, what's going on, guys? Bobby Fi here. I'm just going to share my screen and talk through a little bit of this very small slate here that we're going to try to make some sense of. This is a really annoying, ugly game. I'm not getting overly heavily invested. I'm just showing you here like a little bit of SaberSim. Looking at the overall value per play, obviously, I'm going to only look at this SaberSim ownership for the captain. You can see Zeke is getting the most ownership, then Trubisky, then Warren, then Harris. I agree with the Warren Harris, and to some extent, maybe Trubisky. I would lean to Deontay Johnson ahead of him. I would lean Pickens ahead of him. But I really like Freiermuth to get different at captain, and I like both Warren and Harris, but they're going to be probably a little higher owned than I want to go. The Pittsburgh defense, you can see, picked up some steam. They're going to be really popular as a captain. And the Patriots defense will have some ownership as well. I think these teams are going to be played. You can look at the flex. We'll look at the Steelers D here. Let's just take a quick look. Why don't I have this? See where we're projecting them to be owned at. Yeah, I would bet it's close to 50% by the end of it, especially in the higher buy-in stuff. And Patriots. You can see that they're projected to be around 25%. I do like both defenses. It's hard not to in a game like this. Obviously lean Pittsburgh defense, but it's going to be much chalkier. And in terms of other pieces, with Devontae Parker out, give a boost up to both Thornton and Smith-Schuster. I have a slight edge to Smith-Schuster right now, but I don't feel like I'm married to that. I also like Boswell quite a bit tonight, a lot more than I like Ryland. And just looking at some other plays that we can go through here from an ownership standpoint. Jaylen Warren above the field, Zeke probably near the field. Mitch probably above the field Harris, above the field Steelers, above the field Boswell. Probably end up below the field, I guess, if this is where we're at. I have to make some lines. Not going to be playing Zappe. More Johnson than Pickens. Above the field Patriots defense, above the field Freiermuth, and then basically not really playing almost anybody else. Pittsburgh 4-2s make a lot of sense to me. I think they'll make sense to everyone else. I think if you can get to yourself to a 3-3, it might be at least a slightly different differentiator. And Kenny, I think that makes perfect sense to fade both defenses. The problem is you're not really getting like that great difference. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's like other great plays that we love in these games. And if there are, I would love for anybody to mention who they think they are. You look at the highest projected players here, take them out of the captain. 13 fantasy points. Bailey Zappe with 9. Ryland projected with 7. Smith-Schuster projected with 6. I mean, this is really pretty grim. For what it's worth, I like Gesicki better than I do Hunter Henry today. If I had to make a pick, I know that Gesicki's much cheaper also, so that helps. You look at Pittsburgh side, everybody just barely double digits on the Steelers defense, Najee and Jaylen Warren and Trubisky. I'll take the over on the 9 fantasy points from Deontay Johnson, but probably not going to get there with everybody else. I think Najee is an interesting captain for Harris. Najee Harris is an interesting captain because I do think it'll go more Jaylen Warren, but I still think you're going to see some ownership on Najee. So just the way that I play these showdowns is always I'm going to be embracing a lot of risk and trying to take some of the more gamble plays, which is why I'm playing guys like Freiermuth and who's my other Freiermuth, the Steelers defense, the Patriots defense. And people could say, oh, everyone's going to do that. The truth is, at captain, I don't think everyone's going to do that. People hate playing the defense at captain. We've seen it work a couple times this year, and you still have them both projected sub 10%. So that's the way I'm going. Najee makes some sense. It's just hard to get too much of it. I want to keep the show really quick. I wasn't planning on doing this alone. Sheets couldn't make it, I guess. So drop in any questions or thoughts. Please click the like button. But that's essentially what I'm doing. I'll give you guys a quick shot of my current builds right now. I can't leave them up there for long, but that's currently where I'm at. And there's a little quick build for next week. And there's my showdown build as well for the NBA. Just to be true transparent, I'm going to be making some changes to those lineups, but that's what I've got at this moment. Anyway, guys, let's get away from my Facebook page, which I literally only keep in touch with because I have like 2 friends who communicate with me on there. I haven't looked at anything else. But I have 2 friends who like literally only communicate with me through Facebook who are international. So that's what I do that for. Anyway, guys, let me know what else you think. I don't want to overly talk about this game that I just find so uninteresting. I do think one thing we could talk about is the backup running back situation for New England. We're calling it Kevin Harris right now. I just don't feel comfortable with any of these guys. I really don't even feel that comfortable with Zeke. But what are we talking about here? Like, I mean, we've got we could take Montgomery. I mean, I just don't trust any of these guys to score anything. So I'm out of there. My favorite captains are Freiermuth, and I like the both defenses. That's where I'm at, Rody. I like Freiermuth in both defenses for captains. I also, if they were a little lower owned, I would prefer it. But I do like the idea of getting to some of the the Warren and Harris are probably two of the most logical ones I can come up with. I'm a little surprised to see them lower owned than some of these other plays. But I do think Pittsburgh's going to manhandle New England tonight. I think they're going to win this game easily, regardless of what the score may be. But 20-7 feels reasonable. I actually think that Pittsburgh has a chance of putting up some points here. So I don't feel that way about New England. It's very hard for me to come to terms with anything really scoring for New England. So I am, even though I understand it's good to split it up, I'm going to be much more on the 4-2-5-1 side of Pittsburgh. And that's just the way it's going to be, because I cannot find hardly anybody to play from New England outside of Zeke. And I mean, you look at even in the flex, like, what do we have here? The second most owned is Zappy, then the Patriots defense, Ryland. I think Smith-Schuster's ownership will go up a little bit with the perception after Parker's out. And like I said, I like Juju just slightly better than Thornton. I think it's a toss-up between those two. I think you play either of them, and that's fine with me. Anyway, guys, any other questions before I get out of here? I'm probably just going to stay for another couple minutes. Just wanted to get a little something out there, show you guys a little bit what Sabersim thinks today, where the value is. I think Connor Hayward is an interesting play, by the way, in the flex. Zero ownership if you wanted to spend all the way up. You just don't need the value. You really don't need that much value on this slate, because it's really hard to see much scoring at all. That's what you could argue that hey, what if one touchdown from Connor Hayward and he could be one of the top 7 scoring players in the slate? Sure, that I could talk myself into, but I don't have it. Hey, drop one in, NY. Happy to answer whatever you got. Got the Yankees for life in here, so waiting for this question. Anybody else with anything that you want to talk about this particular slate? Like I said, pretty small pool for me, not playing a ton of tournaments, but I am going to stick with my guns of the Freiermuth being my favorite captain, just factoring ownership and everything. I think Deontay Johnson would be my favorite non-defense captain, I guess. Here we go with this again. I forgot to turn the thing on. Oh, we got these lunatics out here again. With that said, so we're going to block this guy forever. I'm going to have him looked into by our head of support, who's going to actually be able to potentially get his account shut down. So that's nice. So we'll block that everywhere. And there we go. Cunningham. So for me, I didn't get to anything. It's just, I don't even know what we're talking about here. Malik. I'm not playing Malik Cunningham. I was trying to figure. For a second, you meant Washington, but so I was going to answer that. But anyway, guys, please click the like and all that stuff. Appreciate that. Hey, man, thank you. Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah, man, it was a rough one, but just a bad accident that was just a little bit unfortunate, and it happens. It was a birthday celebration, and just tripped, and I am almost healed up, but just still a little bit recovering. Feeling good though physically. Just getting back to it. Thanks, Ronald. Appreciate it. Anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. We will see you guys in the Discord if there's any more questions, and good luck.